Hello, kids. It's nice having you back again in class. In our previous lesson, we talked about resources, where you know the raw materials and the finished products. In our lesson today, we'll be talking about storage. What do you understand by storage? Now, let's see the definition. Storage means keeping things in a place for future use. When we store things, we also prevent them from getting spoiled. Storage and preservation helps things to remain in a good condition for a long time without getting spoiled. Our excess food items can be stored and preserved until the time we need them. Now, why don't we see things we can store? We have perishable foods. Now, perishable foods are foods that get spoiled easily, like fish, fruits, vegetables, milk, pepper, and some other things. Even your meat gets spoiled easy. They are known as perishable goods or foods. Number 2, we have non-perishable foods. Now, non-perishable foods are foods that don't get spoiled easily. Examples, we have the rice, maize, curry, millet, yam, melon, water, palm oil, vegetable oil, your kerosene, and so on. They are known as non-perishable foods because they don't get spoiled easily. Now, why don't we see ways how grandma, grandpa, uncles, aunties store things in the olden days? How they store their perishable foods and non-perishable foods. The first one here is drying. Our meat, fish, vegetables, seeds, and grains are spread out in the sun and allowed to dry. The drying can take several days. When we say several days, it can take 1 day, 2 days, 3 days, 4 days, even 7 days. The other one is frying. Your meat, fish are fried to prevent them from going bad quickly. While the third one is burns. Burns are done using yam tubers. Yam tubers are stored in a large quantities in yam barns. Fourth one is roasting. Meat and fish are also roasted until they are dry and brown. The meat and the fish can be kept for many days or months in this dry form. Have you ever tasted a roasted meat before? I would love you to give it a try. The next one here is salting. We all know what we use salt to do. Salt is added to food items like fish, meat, and vegetables to prevent insects from destroying them. The last one here is earthen pots. Now these earthen pots, they are used to store waters. Since we've discussed how grandma, grandpa stored their foods in the olden days, now why don't we see the modern ways of storing foods? How do we store things now? How do you and mommy store things? The first one here is bagging. We keep items such as garri, beans, rice, yam, maize, yam flour, and millets in the bag. The bags are sealed to prevent rats. He is silos. Silo is a big metal storage structure for storing large amounts of grains. The other one is refrigeration. Fresh foods like vegetables, meats, and so on are stored in refrigerators. Not only store foods, things that are not food can also be stored. Water and liquids like oil and kerosene are stored in pots and tanks. Even your books are stored on bookshelves, clothes are stored inside wardrobes, while shoes are on the racks. Now, let's see why we store these things. Number 1, to keep them in good condition. Number 2, to make them stay longer. Number 3, to prevent wastage. Number 4, to save the cost of going to the market. While number 5, to have enough food. Hope you enjoyed this lesson. Bye for now.